So before we move on to questions, we're just going to play a quick round of some questionable news. To my anchor. So for this game, we are going to look at a couple of news headlines and try to determine which ones are, in fact, actual headlines, clickbait headlines, and which one is a plant. So one that isn't a real headline. The idea here isn't to determine which one has the real science, but more rather which one is a clickbait headline you would find online versus not. So we'll ask our speakers what they think, but feel free to participate in the comments and the chat and put your thoughts out there as well. So our first headline. So again, participants, our panelists, feel free. I might call you out for your opinion on this. Oops, it turns out lab-grown meat often contains real blood. So is this a real clickbait headline or not? Any thoughts? You can jump in.
I guess it's a clickbait worthy headline, not true, but
interesting. Okay, so Dr. Selvaganapathy says it might be a real headline, though the content of it. Thomas or Lynn, any comments on this?
I'd have to ask Ravi, where does the serum come from? What's the source of serum when you're making?
Mostly bovine serum or horse serum. So those are the two often that's used.
All right. So I guess it depends what that is. So I'd probably say clickbait, but
okay. And Lynn, clickbait or a false, non-existent headline?
I'm thinking clickbait as well.
Well, you are all correct. So it is a real headline. So this was an article published by, let me just double check my notes. So I don't have the source right here. I'd have to go back in my tabs. So the essence of this one here is that they're saying that basically the serum that is used to grow the cells in, the medium in which our animal cells have to grow in, comes from fetal bovine blood. So maybe, Ravi, could you enlighten us real quick in like 2 lines or less what the science is here, if you're able to?
Yeah, so in biomedical research, the serum that is used is often fetal bovine serum, or in some cases horse serum is also used. And one of the challenges in the industry, and that is something that people have been used to, is to go serum-free media. So the chemically defined medium that doesn't contain any animal products in it. And there are some examples of most of the companies that are working on serum-free media. So the products that you see out there would be typically cultured in serum-free media rather than in this thing. So the origins do come from biomedical research, which uses serum, and that is one of the challenges scientifically that the industry is overcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so serum, from what I understand of serum, it's an extract from blood. We're not using actual blood, we're using a component of blood.
It's a component of blood, yes.
Okay, there you go. So that was actually from Futurism. All right, our next one. Have we milked everything yet? The future of dairy-free milk. Real headline or invented? Lynn, what are your thoughts?
I have to giggle about that one. With so many non-dairy beverages out there, I think it's possible to be clickbait.
Yeah, okay. And Thomas, any thoughts?
It's probably clickbait, but the technology, I was talking about phyto farming, using tobacco plants to make proteins. You could take if you have the gene that codes for the protein that makes up the milk, in theory, you could put those genes in the plant and make them and extract it and make dairy-free milk.
Oh,
so probably clickbait, but it is possible.
All right. And Ravi?
I would say that that could be a real headline. So there are technologies where they're using milk producing cells in order to culture them and produce. So it could be a real headline, yes.
All right, in our audience, we've got, I see real, well, this one was actually a plant, so this was not a real headline, but as you all mentioned, this could be real. Actually, we were just reading this morning that they've come up with potato milk now. So as Lynn mentioned, all of these plant-based alternatives, we can add potato to it. Our last one before we jump into questions. Should crickets be on the menu now or just in the end times? Real headline or no? Ravi?
I guess real. I mean, crickets are already being consumed, so I don't see.
Yeah. Thomas?
Oh, absolutely. You can go to Zehrs and buy cricket flour.
Yep.
And if most of us, if we've eaten anything that's got a really red color to it, probably has ground up beetles in it. So,
Cochineal.
yeah, there you go.
And Lynn, any thoughts on this?
Great source of protein. Why not?
Indeed. So this is indeed a real headline. So crickets are the next up and coming protein. So I was just saying before we started at the museum, we've featured some crickets in our programming and worked with a cricket farm to help our visitors understand that this is, a totally legitimate source of food. And even though, we might not be as familiar with it here in Canada, it's consumed all over the world, everywhere. So great. Okay,
they're
so let's
incredibly efficient too.
What's that, sir?
They're incredibly efficient from a water and energy conversion perspective too.
So we should definitely be eating them now, not just the end of times.
Absolutely gobble them up.
In my Cheerios in the morning.